So we got some very important updates to be going over in terms of trading the best setups at the best prices heading into the end of the week. This is going to continue to prepare you to make the best trades possible for the rest of this week. We are going to be also going over an in-depth price action analysis on the stock market, doing an in-depth analysis on the SPY and the VIX for the micro trading price action. We got some phenomenal A1 trading setups lined up. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. Without further ado, let's get right into the lesson. So first things first, in terms of the SPY. The SPY has filled this gap. There was a gap to fill at $396.92. It filled the gap right here and it had a gap close reversal. The strategy worked. Once SPY filled this gap right here, it started to have a reversal and then it sold off very hard to $393. If you watched my video yesterday, I had given you guys the idea in terms of to play puts towards the gap fill level at 397. And I said, write it back down to about 394 to 393, which was literally the lows before it started pumping during the Fed meeting. Now, with that being said, what is the new updated price action analysis? We had a small move up here during extended hours. Now we're currently flat back towards the previous closing price. So this is going to be the make it or break it level. Is this a micro bull trap and is SPY going to sell off and go under $393? Or is this a micro bear trap and is SPY going to turn 397? Is it going to hold $397, turn that into support, and then rip up to the next resistance level, which is at $403.80. And we do also have a gap to fill above at 408.32. What I want you to do in terms of tomorrow is I want you to use this zone if you choose to trade the SPY. This is what I want you to focus on in terms of the reactions, right? So in terms of support, we're going to call the support level $397.37. We're going to call the support the closing price. In terms of the resistance level, we're going to call the resistance level $399.45. Now here's the deal. If SPY continues to hold, consolidate, and bounce above this 397.37 level, it is going to be an attempt for the bulls to try to break above this 399.50. If it continues to consolidate and hold 397, we are micro bullish and on track for a gap fill play to 408 within time, as long as we break above and hold $400. Now, for the bears to show true strength, we need to have a strong rejection. If it pops to 399.45 to 400, a strong rejection. And once we can get a crack of this support at 397, which was previously resistance, once we can crack that and turn that into a resistance level, it's going to be a micro bull trap and it's going to try to crack this 394. The target on that would be like 393.50, right around there. So I gave you the levels in terms of how to determine, heading into the rest of the week, is this a micro bull trap or a micro bear trap, right? So if you see weakness at 397, very bearish. If you see strength at 397 and a break above 400, very overall micro bullish. I will say though, not interested in buying calls. The strategy already worked in terms of today at the 397 level. If you watched the video, it already worked. So with that being said, we could see how it reacts. We could also wait for the gap to fill at 408.32. So that's my thoughts on the SPY. Now, in terms of the VIX, how is the VIX looking right now? The VIX is at a key critical make it or break it level. We have a lot of support on the VIX at 2372. It is attempted to double bottom here, but it's also forming lower highs. It's not looking like the most bullish chart. In terms of gaps, we have a gap to fill at $24. It recently bottomed out at $23.33. We have another gap to fill at $22.95. So if the VIX continues to drop $22.95 right here at the support with big upside, this gap close reversal, that's where you can see the VIX start to have a reversal, which will cause SPY to pull back. So $22.95 would be the key critical level to watch the VIX. If it starts to bounce and have a gap close reversal, you can then look to play puts on the SPY. So that's another potential trade for you there. Make sure you're setting your price alerts. If you want to trade the best setups, you have to set the price alerts. That's the name of the game, right? If you don't set the price alerts, you're going to miss out on the best setups and you're going to end up FOMOing into something that's not at the best price. So make sure you're strategically trading this like a system. So that's my thoughts on SPY. That's my thoughts on VIX. We're 5 minutes into the video. Now let's get into the best setups to be trading at the best prices. So in terms of HRB, this stock has been a very, very rough stock to swing trade. In terms of day trading, from our entries, now the 4th time in the row where you could have made a 20% return. I will say this though, in terms of day trading, the risk to reward just isn't the best. I mean, we're looking at like 20% returns, and you really do have to get the best entry. It's not the most volatile stock as of now. It's just been shopping sideways. It's not the most lucrative stock to trade. It's not the easiest stock to trade. One thing I can say is it has been doing a great job of topping out at these spikes. But like I said, only like 20% returns, which isn't the most exciting because like if you're wrong on a trade like this, you're probably going to lose 10 to 20 to 30%. So it's not the best risk to return ratio in this situation. So I'm losing interest. I sold all my positions today for a tiny win, and then I sold half yesterday for a bigger win, a 25% win. I'm losing interest in it because it's outperforming the market. It's extremely choppy. It's not that volatile. And like I said, the returns just aren't there. And it's not like K-Stock. It's just not performing in terms of that trend. It did have the gap down like K-Stock had it on the 6th day, but it's closing strong. So for those of you interested in it, just be aware of the disadvantages of trading the stock. I'm trying my best to avoid it from here, but I will say this, we have a gap to fill above at 34.58. It's going to fill the gap. And this is a fairly bullish candlestick. See this bullish candlestick right here? What does it do? It rips and then it goes green to red. We're probably going to see something similar like that tomorrow, where it rips up to fill the gap and then it tops out towards 35 to 35.20 to 35.50, and then it goes back down to red. I could see that happening, right? So if you see a strong bearish confirmation at 34.58, if not at $35, you can look to play a micro put. But guys, I would sway away from it. It's just not worth it, man. It's just, there's going to be better plays. These low volume plays, especially the strong ones that are outperforming the market, have been extremely tough to trade. Now, if you're looking to swing at the best possible level, $36.89, wait for the gap to fill at 36.89. If we could turn 35 into support and break above 35.50 within time, we'll see a gap fill played at $36.89. I understand there's different ways to trade this. You can go with the Julys and just kind of hold them, swing trade them and average. It's just the issue I'm seeing is the strong lack of volatility and the strong push of it continuing to want to go up to fill the highest gap at the best level at 36.89. So truly, especially with swing trading, the best thing you could really do is go for the best gap for the reversal at $36.89 towards the all-time highs at 37.53. Notice how the all-time highs are right here. It pulls back, it forms the double top, has a gap close reversal, sells off hard. So that would be where I would really be interested in trading from here. I'm so frustrated at this whole chop zone from 34 to 32.50. I'm very frustrated with it. I think the best thing we could do, and where I'd be interested in trading this one, would just truly be at the best price, which is 36.89. So that's my thoughts on it. I would encourage you to do what's best, especially with that stock. It's not the easiest one to trade. It's not the most lucrative opportunity due to its lack of volatility with the puts and its choppy price action. So Lucid did have a crack of support. We got to a low of 1676 today, but then it closed strong. It's trying to bottom at this support right here. And we do have a gap to fill above at 1840. So the best thing we could do with Lucid from here, guys, is to wait till 1840. If we see resistance come in at 1840, we're going to see something like this, where Lucid holds support, it rips up, it fills the gap. See how it tries to fill this gap right here. And then it has a reversal. So if we can get strong resistance at 1840, then we could see a pullback to fill the gap below. Not my favorite setup. It's mainly on the back burner. I would be a lot more interested because it still hasn't filled this gap right here, which is towards like $20.20. That would be the true best level. Tesla, very interested in Tesla. I had a really nice trade. This was my trade of the day. Let me show you right here in terms of my alerts. This was my trade of the day right here, where I bought these Tesla puts. It was a 655 strike. It expires this Friday. I got filled at $13.20 in the low 13s, and then just 4 minutes later, I sold at 18 during that whole Fed situation. Everything had a nice micro pullback before ripping back up, and I sold on the dip. And then I sold the other half at $16. That was a very nice scalp. That was my best trade for the day. So anyways, in terms of Tesla, it gapped down. So with that being said, we recently gapped down from 674.90. What I'm doing is I'm waiting for it to go to 674.90. Once it fills the gap, if we can top out, form some resistance, I'm looking to buy puts and ride it back down to $640. How am I getting that micro price target? On this day, it got to a high of 680. It closed at it got to a high of $680, and the closing price, not the closing price, the low was towards 640, right? And then on this day, it sold off from the same level and it dropped even lower, dropped to 620s. So I think 640s would be a fair target, 640s to 650s on that. It's already pulling back, trying to have partial gap close reversals, very strong resistance here in the 669 range. So once we can get to 674.90 right here, I'll look for resistance to form, bearish confirmations, chop at highs, the nice bearish wicks, and then I'll look to play puts, ride it back down to the 640s. That would be the target, the 640s, the mid 640s on that. That's my number one A1 setup when that gap fills. JP Morgan. In terms of JP Morgan, it tried to have the gap close reversal. You could see right here, I was looking at the pattern where it fills the gap, it sells off hard. It tried, but then it went green. So it's bullish. It's bullish right now. This is a tough stock to trade. I don't like its price action. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be removing JP Morgan from the watch list due to its choppy price action analysis. So JPM has been removed from the watch list. In terms of Roblox, in terms of the puts, the best thing we can do in this situation is it recently cracked strong support at $30. You see the strong support. Then it sold off all the way to 26.30s once it cracked. So the name of the game is to wait for it to rip back up to your previous support, which was right here towards 30s. And if it reacts as a resistance, right where this gap is waiting to fill above at 30.06, we look for that nice whole key round number for that gap close reversal opportunity, and then ride it back down to $27 to fill the gap below. That is an A1 number one setup. So the best setups I'm seeing out of the ones that I just reviewed for HRB, $36.89 put options. We got to go for the best price on that one due to its price action, lack of choppiness. Tesla gap close reversal puts at 674.90. Roblox gap close reversal puts to fill the gap below. Gap close reversal puts at 30.06 to fill the gap below at 27.07. All of these are phenomenal A1 setups. For Facebook, I've been waiting for it to fill the gap. Right here, I want to see how it reacts at 174.95. Snapchat. Keep your eyes on Snapchat, guys. Snapchat is going to be a great opportunity into this week. We are at a make it or break it level. On this day, it got to a high of 1457. It closed weak towards the lows at 1279. In terms of today, we got to a high of 1457. It closed at 1416. So it's attempting to fake out. Snapchat is attempting to fake out. So what I want you to understand is, people are wondering, is this the bottom? Is it going to start to break out? Is it going to have a gap breakout? A gap breakout is where it rips above, where you find a stock that has a gap down. And then once it closes, you take the high of day right here, $14.57. When it rips above $14.57, what it's going to do is it's going to start to break out. It's going to start to run. It's going to start to fill the gap because there's no support. It's a special breakout level that's at an oversold level, right? So we're at a make it or break it level. It's going to be a fake out. It's going to be bearish. It's going to be a fake move if we can crack $14 and turn the previous closing price $14.16 into resistance. Now, this is what I want you to understand. That's the put side. And how low does it go if it fakes out and cracks 14? Your target will be right around here towards 1330. If it cracks 1330, then 1290. But I would keep the target at 1330 to 1290s. Now, let's talk bulls. Let's talk bull side, right? So the bulls are at make it or break it, and they need to break out now, or otherwise this is a fake out. So what we need tomorrow is we need a strong break above 1460, 1416 to turn into support. If that can occur, we'll see a retest of the gap breakout level, which is in the 1450s. If 1450s can break out and turn into support, you see a strong bullish reaction at 1450s, set a stop at like 1410, you see that occur. Then we're looking at a nice move to the upside to, I'd say, about $16.30 to $16, right around there. So I gave you the both ways in terms of price action analysis. We got to see how it reacts, see how it breaks down, or see how it breaks out at those key levels. Snapchat is going to be a great trading setup to be trading tomorrow. So Snapchat, Tesla, Roblox, HRB. HRB is more of a longer term one at this point where we just truly got to wait. Let's take a look at Draftkings. Draftkings had a rip up today. So in terms of Draftkings, it's trying to have a bullish reversal. I'm not liking it. I'm going to set my alert for 1573. We get to 1573, react key resistance right here for a gap close reversal. That should be a great opportunity. Set those price alerts. $15.73, gap close reversal, ride it back down towards key support. That should be a good one towards that level. EOG. EOG is definitely up there. One of my favorite setups into the week. So as you guys know, we're at all-time highs on EOG. The stock loves having gap close reversals at all-time highs. There's a gap to fill at $132.22 right there. There's a gap to fill at that red line. Here's what I want you to understand. Right now, it's breaking above. As soon as it filled the gap, it started breaking out, turned it into support, went higher. It's a bullish reaction. So what are we going to do? What's the game plan? What's the play? The play is to wait for the first red day. I'm saving the best one till the end, the best one for the last. Right here, you see how see how there was a gap to fill on EOG right here, and then it has the first red day, starts selling off hard. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the first red day. For this stock, when it gaps down, when it opens up red, when we have the first red day, I'm looking to play puts. I want to buy those puts as close as possible to that previous closing price, wherever it gaps down from, whether it's today or later into this week or into next week, towards that previous closing price. That'd be the true best entry. Also, $132.22. For this particular play, I'm willing to buy the puts slightly lower than the previous closing price from the day it gaps down, right? So I strongly believe once we can get that first red day, that first gap down, we could see a nice sell-off. We could see a nice red day, something like this or something maybe even like this. I think we could see a nice, decent red day or overall just like a short-term pullback that takes a couple days once we can get that first red day. There's a gap to fill below at $129.25. There's another gap to fill below at $122.05. For this history to repeat itself, where it just sells off and gets slammed right here at $132.22, what we need to wait for $132.22 to crack and react as a resistance. Once we get that, we play the puts. From there, $129.25. We need that to crack. If that cracks, then it gets slammed hard to 122. If it holds, it rips back up to our initial entry. In terms of the spreads, not the thinnest spreads, but it's not the worst, right? If we look at the spreads, there is some volume coming in, not a bunch, but they're not the worst spreads. They really aren't. If you look at the strikes, the spreads are about 15, I would say 10 to 20%, depending on the contract you go with. So you want to get filled on the middle in the spreads, right? So with that one, it's going to be a wider spread, less volatile, but it can pull back hard once we get that negative reaction. That is going to be how to trade the best setups at the best prices. Those are the best ones that I'm seeing into this week. In terms of earnings, I was interested in playing earnings, but I decided to just sway away from it. Snow had a really nice pullback. That was one of the ones I was interested on. But I decided to sway away from it, man. Just really wasn't interested in the price action for the overall earnings. With that being said, if you do want to be a part of Traders Society, that's going to be the first link down below in the description. Once you join Traders Society, you get instant access. You get lifetime access to everything included, which is explained on the first link in the description. Click the first link, read everything that's included on the page. If you feel like it's going to be the right fit for you, then I would encourage you to join Traders Society. Like I said, on the end of June, we are going to be making this a program where you have to fill out an application and you have to have a phone call interview to see if you can get approved for it. We're also going to be raising the prices substantially. So if you want to get in, the best time to get in is now before that occurs. This is the lowest you will ever see it priced at. With that being said, in terms of some of the things that are included, the live trading streams. The most valuable part of the program is where you get to watch me trade live at market open every single day. You get to see me trade my watch list, trade my plans, trade the new setups that I don't talk about on this channel that pop up during the pre-market, that pop up during the middle of the day, right? You get to watch me trade live the best setups at the best prices, where you can really learn how to see someone trade these in real time, as you get to see my open portfolio, and you get to see the charts, hear the live commentary. I'll answer your questions live on spot as well. You do also get access to the community, the chat room, the real-time trade alerts, which include the day trades, the swing trades, and the mid to long-term leap options. You do also get access to the watch list, the price action analysis, the stock analysis in written form, and the new daily updates. There's so much more to it. Can't forget about the video lesson library, where you will learn how to trade the unique gap trading strategies that I've created. You'll learn how to trade price action in both ways, in bull or bear market, calls and puts. You'll also learn how to, you'll learn the mindset, psychology, risk management, and position sizing into trading. There's a lot more to it. If you want to check it out, it's going to be that first link down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow live at market open with the live trading stream. And of course, those new updates. We got to do those new updates in the pre-market. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you guys so much for choosing to invest your time into your education. I will see you within the next video.